But it's me, Collection Fanatic, and I'm here with my friend, the nerdy gamer dude.
No.
Yeah, he
No, I
said
can't
no.
be here. No.
So anyway, we're just playing GTA and discussing movies again.
Again, like I'm
Yeah.
stuck on a time loop.
All
Speaking of
right.
time loop, Groundhog Day is a pretty good movie.
What is?
Groundhog Day. Great
Uh,
show.
oh, and your mic's breaking up. What'd you say?
Your mom.
Oh. Okay. I don't know why that made me laugh so much.
Maybe it
Any,
says this season.
anyway, so Halloween's around the corner.
It's
So
not
like,
even October yet.
yeah, I know, right? But so like, what kind of scary movies you're planning on watching this year?
Uh, like 2 years ago, I started watching the Halloween movies in order.
That's your
So
first mistake.
Yeah, last year I watched Halloween 2. This year we'll watch Halloween 3, along with the original. I always watch the original and the next movie in timeline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I watched them with my mom.
Hold on. Out of the first 7 Halloween movies, which one's your favorite?
3.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, I guess.
It's either that or Halloween 2. I don't like Halloween 1.
I love Halloween 1.
It's a very important and impressive film, but there are just better movies that do it for me.
I think I'm more of a fan of like I'd argue that like I like Halloween H2O, but at the same time I don't.
That movie's like boring and forgettable.
I think the reason why I don't like H2O is because I like it, but I don't like it. I think the main reason for that is because in when H2O came out, that kind of showed that like, hey, we can just reboot this franchise as many times as we want.
Yeah. Well, it's only been rebooted like 3 times.
Let's see here. They rebooted it with H2O, then they rebooted it with the Rob Zombie movies, and then with the 2018 sequel reboot.
They were all spaced out pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, and despite the fact that people shit on the Rob Zombie movies, I actually thought the first one was okay.
Yeah, they're just too dirty for me. In terms of like source material and like presentation.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I like it's obviously a style, and you know it's pulled off well enough, but I don't know. I don't want to throw up while I watch my movies.
Let's see. I know that the main theme that my wife and I are going to be doing this year for like Halloween is going to be like it's no, it's gonna be Blair Witch and horror Americana.
Never heard of that. Sounds dumb.
Basically, it's just like American horror movies. Because like last year we did, because we always pick one main monster for the overall theme, and then a subgenre or a main genre to go with it. So last year we did Dracula and European horror. This year we're doing the Blair Witch and American horror.
Have you ever delved into Italian horror?
I know a little bit of Italian horror because I have a couple of Italian horror movies. Mostly stuff like Cannibal Holocaust or like the zombie movies.
What about Suspiria? Dario Argento's movies?
I've heard of that. I also need to get City of the Living Dead and The Gates of Hell.
Nice.
But which I think are all by like I think they're all done by like Lucio Fulci.
I think I know who he is.
He did the first zombie movie, like Zombie 2, even though it wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be Zombie 2.
It's supposed to be Zombie 4.5.
No, it was supposed to be its own movie, and then like Dawn of the Dead came out in Italy under the title Zombie, and they decided to cash in on it by like changing the title of like Lucio Fulci's movie. Because a lot of people think that Lucio Fulci's movie was always supposed to be like a sequel prequel to Dawn of the Dead, but it wasn't. So yeah.
I need to watch these zombie movies. You keep going on about how Zombie 3 is the greatest thing ever made.
No, Zombie 2 is.
You keep going on about how Zombie 2 is the best movie ever made.
It's not the best movie ever made. It's definitely one of the better zombie movies ever made. Stop telling people that I say things that aren't true.
Oh no.
I don't know why my interest in the Blair Witch Project has really like peaked.
Yeah, that's what you've been talking a lot about the Blair Witch. You passed like 5 streams of the Blair Witch.
I don't know why, and I just want to point out that my channel is not going to be a Blair Witch channel. There's definitely not enough material to build an entire channel on. But no, like, I don't know, that's like one of those horror movies that like really kind of sticks out to me. I think
it hasn't been like oversaturated yet.
Yeah, I mean, you got some of the spin-offs, you got some, you know, in the main movies and the video games and all that, but like when you get down to like the nitty-gritty of like, you know, the Blair Witch Project, it's really kind of just like it's oddly enough it's its own thing, but yet it's part of a bigger thing at the same time. Because like, yeah, it's its own movie obviously, but it's also like, you know, because everybody calls it like the you know, godfather of like, you know, or the grandfather of like, you know, the found footage genre, which isn't true.
Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust is the first found footage movie, and even then, Cannibal Holocaust.
Isn't even that good.
No, Cannibal Holocaust is good-ish.
No.
I don't know. I was gonna say I kind of like it, but now that you say that and I'm thinking about it, it's like, Cannibal Holocaust is kind of weird.
That's alright.
Yeah.
For the first, like 30 minutes until it becomes found footage, then it's good.
Now, granted, you know, thanks to Blair Witch Project, we never would have gotten like, you know, found footage movies such as like Paranormal Activity or Grave Encounters or As Above, So Below.
And depending on how you look at it, it may be a good thing.
Well, you know, and the thing is, you know, when like I was just telling a friend of mine about this the other day, that, you know, because we were talking about found footage movies, and I was like, you know, we mentioned As Above, So Below, and me and my other friend were talking about how good it was, how much we liked it, and they were like, you know, oh, well, what's that? And I was like, okay, so you know how the Blair Witch Project created like a shit ton of like clones? You know, like everybody and their brother wanted to make a found footage movie to try and get in on that, you know, Blair Witch money. And and they were like, yeah, and they're like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, As Above, So Below would arguably be like the apex clone. Kind of like how like, you know, Silent Hill started out as a Resident Evil clone, but it got changed enough to where it was its own thing. Yeah, because As Above, So Below is kind of like that too. Yeah, it had somewhat similar marketing tactics, but not really. Because, like, As Above, So Below, you know, used a real-world location, just like the Blair Witch did, to create its setting. It presented itself as being, like, somewhat real, because, like, they started releasing videos and documentaries about, you know, like, the Paris catacombs and all that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really liked As Above, So Below. I really did. I remember I saw it with 2 friends of mine, and we all like left that movie theater going like, "Holy shit, that was pretty good."
Did you see it in theaters?
Yes.
I've yet to see a found footage movie in theaters. It sounds like a pretty cool experience.
It's pretty fun. I've seen like quite a few. I do like though that there are found footage movies that like go into different genres nowadays, because when it was just horror, it kind of was getting a little old.
Yeah.
You know, because you look at it and you're like, oh, you know, why is it that, you know, every found footage movie has, and I get why. It's because, you know, found footage horror is technically like the easiest to do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's easy to scare people by going, ooh, it's real. And to be fair, that was like the big appeal of the Blair Witch Project, was that the way it was marketed and the way that it did, you know, the way it presented itself was that, oh hey, this could be real. And
yeah, and it totally worked in its favor. It most definitely did.
There's still there are technically still people to this day that believe that the Blair Witch Project is real.
They never leave their house.
Like my dad used to have this co-worker of his. Give me a sec, I gotta plug in my phone. Can't believe I'm doing this on stream. How embarrassing. Anyway, so my dad had a co-worker a long time ago, and he told me this story because like he's a bit of a Blair Witch fan too. Which
The problem is generational.
But he remembers that he had this coworker, and they went up and down the halls going like, I can't believe they would release this movie. Those poor kids were murdered by some creature in the woods, and they released it, and they released this footage. Are you kidding me? This is fucking bullshit. And my dad was like, hey, genius, you know it's a fake movie, right? And according to my dad, to this day, that person still believes the Blair Witch Project is real. And I think that's mostly because, like, you know, there's still a lot of marketing and a lot of lore surrounding the Blair Witch.
Oh yeah.
Because I think one of the things with it is that, like, even to this day, the creators of the Blair Witch Project are still adding more lore to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna poop. I need to shit.
Oh no. But anyway, so into other movie news. How do you feel about, because I talked about this in my last stream, and you're a pretty big Lupin fan.
No.
How do you feel about the rumors that, you know, because a friend told me this. I can't find any source of this, and usually are able to find more Lupin information than I am. How do you feel about the rumors that apparently part 1 and 2 are going to get re-released alongside part 3 on Blu-ray?
Part 1 and 3?
Part 1, 2, and 3 all getting a Blu-ray release.
Well, the thing is, I think part 2 already has a Blu-ray release in Japan.
Well, I know that. I'm talking about in the United States.
The United States, so it wouldn't be any different. From what I've seen on these DVD rips, it looks fine enough. Like I love Blu-ray, best quality, but they just look like they look perfectly the same on DVD. They look perfectly fine. Because like, didn't like Discotech say that they weren't planning on releasing part 1 on Blu-ray anytime soon because they've done all they could to like make it look pretty?
I think so.
Yeah, so like I don't care. Like I just want to have it just for like uniform, because you know I like all my stuff looking the same, and that also applies to like my DVDs and movies and cases. So in this case, I'm like, all right, but with the dub though, I don't know. I don't think. Does that mean they're redoing the dub for part 2?
I have no idea. I think like what my friend said was like, yeah, they're gonna just dub the episodes that they never dubbed before.
Okay, I would like that, because like only like the original 71, 75.
I think it's like the first 79.
And like out of like what, like a 200 episode series?
About 155, 55, 59, something like that. I just got like all 4 box sets not too long ago. Because I had box set 1. And I had box set 3 for the longest time, and then eventually I got box set 1, and slowly I started getting 2 and 4.
But I don't know about part 1 though, because part 1 like doesn't feel right with the dub. Like it just doesn't.
Well, I have part 1 on DVD as well, and I'll be real. Like I think I mentioned this in my last stream that like part 1's really not that great.
Part 1 is like. I always flip-flop which series is my favorite. Sometimes it's part 2, sometimes it's part 4, sometimes part 3, sometimes part 1.
Don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy part 1. I do, but like
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say if I had to pick like which one is my favorite, it would not be part 1.
Yeah, if I had a gun to my head and someone was like, you have to pick your favorite Lupin, I would first of all ask them how the fuck do you know what Lupin is, and I'd probably say part 2, because, you know, it's funny, it has, you know, decent animation, it's timeless, but part 1 has a really classic, like, 60s anime feel to it that just can't be beat.
Yeah.
The fact that it's so low budget gives it its own identity.
I think
I
my
love like the dainty sound effects where it sounds like there's like smashing bottles against the wall for gunshots. It just sounds so cool. Except for the first episode. That episode sucks.
see my only issue is that like, you know, I love Discotheque. I practically like, you know, praise them everywhere I go. But if there's one major complaint that I have about Discotheque and their releases, it's that like we never get really a time frame of releases. They just sort of announce it. Like when they announced Goodbye Partner, they just randomly went like, "Oh, it's by the way, Goodbye Partner's coming out in June. Good luck with that." You know, it's like, and even though I've seen Goodbye Partner, I need to get it on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, my favorite Lupin movie. I'm joking.
You know, I really don't know how I feel about Goodbye Partner.
Like I told you about this when I watched it live because CMS streamed it a while ago for Retrospect.
Right.
It was. I got what I wanted in the first 30 minutes, but the movie was an hour and a half long. And the rest of the movie wasn't what I wanted, but I still enjoyed everything they gave me.
I got what I wanted in the first 30 minutes. It's an hour and a half long. So you just got an hour of shit that you didn't want.
Well, the thing is, I enjoyed it. Like, it was hilarious. Like, I went in with, you know, like an open mindset, because I do that for all these movies that I haven't heard of or seen. I only went off the name because I was like, holy shit, you know, Jigi and Lupin fighting. This is actually a pretty cool concept. How have they not done this? And then I realized, oh wait, it'd be boring. Because it actually would be kind of boring.
I was gonna say, haven't they fought before?
Like, only in, like, the prequels when they don't know each other.
Oh, yeah.
And it was pretty good. Like, I just watched it and I just didn't take it seriously. I just, like, clowned on it the entire time. I just, like, I was, like, texting you in the group chat. I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, the stuff on the computer, how that becomes the main villain, like, for the last 30 minutes, I was like, nobody saw this coming because it wasn't telegraphed. But I'm still having a fun time. It was a fun movie. It was fun.
Yeah, but man, like, there's so many issues I have with Goodbye Partner.
No.
Because, like...
That just adds the atrocity, and it's just so fun to watch. Like, you just watch and you just lose your mind saying, how is this a thing in the movie?
I think my main issue with Goodbye Partner is just the pacing of the story.
I know, like, first it's like, you know, a rivalry story, and then it's like a kidnapping story, and then Lupin and the gang get stuck in a basement.
And then for some reason, Skynet's a thing.
Yeah, Skynet, and then the president is evil?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But no, okay, so... Alright. What was that other Lupin special that came out in 2019 that, like, nobody talked about?
Prison of the Past.
Yeah, I did not know that existed until you told me about it.
That came out of nowhere, and I have never heard, I have not seen anything about it. I think it's out, but...
Because they advertised the living shit out of Goodbye Partner.
Oh yeah, because that's like, well, the thing is, that was probably easy to market, because they could just like show the first 30 minutes and be like, oh, they're fighting. How do you market Prison of the Past?
It's Prisons of the Past, right? Is that what you said?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, because like, oh man, like I said, I didn't even know it existed. I had no idea. I had no clue, and when
I found it on Lupin, and I was like, wait, this is happening? Cause that's where I get it's like Lupin news. Don't do that, by the way. Don't get your Lupin news exclusively from the subreddit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna get a mixed bag.
Yeah.
That's where, like, I find, like, a lot of these really weird rumors.
Yeah.
Other than, like, you know, friends of mine that are also Lupin fans.
Yeah.
But,
it's always good to, like, cross-check on, like, anime news sites. That's also how I get my information.
Right. No, like, I know that, like, somebody brought up that, oh yeah, we should get like a part, because I know like, you know, some people are talking about like how we're gonna get a part 3 Blu-ray announcement soon, and like I'm not really sure on that one. I think they're focusing more on like, you know, releasing television specials at the moment. I just farted and it's really smelly. Anyway,
Nice.
anyway, but no, like somebody brought up that that we should probably get a part 3 announcement fairly soon.
I would like that. Part 3 doesn't get talked about that much. One, because it's kind of bad, but I don't know. It's underrated as hell, and it's actually one of the few Lupin third like series that doesn't get mentioned at all. Like you can find part 2 on like every single streaming service. That's worth a damn. But the only thing you can watch part 3 on legally is like Crunchyroll.
Right. Yeah, like for some reason, like part 3 has always been kind of snubbed in the United States. I'm not really sure as to why.
It probably just wasn't received well because people are like, it's the bad one.
Yeah, but like the thing is, part 1 never received a release in the United States because, you know, someone mentioned that like, oh well, part 2 aired on American TV, so that's understandable. Like why it would like have like a bit of interest enough to like get released. But somebody brought up So we brought up that like part 1 never got a release in the United States, and I still got a DVD release.
Maybe because it's just like the novelty that, oh, it's the first one.
But
it was also probably super easy because it's like, we're like 22 episodes.
yeah, but like also like Discotheque I will admit like actually helps out like people who are like diehard completionists. So like, you know, it's kind of surprising that they haven't.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's kind of surprising that they haven't done part 3 yet.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising.
Though maybe like they're doing some kind of like special deal because like nobody thought we'd get Secret Gold of Babylon.
Yeah.
And we end up getting that.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere too.
Yeah, and so far I think that's like the only thing of the Pink Jacket saga that ever like got released in the United States.
Yeah,
officially.
I haven't seen the trailer. Oh, go ahead, sorry. I keep interrupting you, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. Just do what you did.
I remember seeing that trailer for like Gold of Babylon, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I was like, holy shit, it's that one movie no one talked about, but it's bad. And I bought it. It's not bad.
No, it's really not. Like, and I think I mentioned this to you before that like people just say it's bad because it's not Castle Cagliostro.
Yeah,
and that
I probably didn't know that it came directly after Castle Cagliostro.
I mean, to be fair, I mentioned this in my last stream that like one of the big problems with the Lupin fandom is that like they hate anything that's not Cagliostro.
Yeah, unless it's Mamo.
Yeah, and I really don't know why. Because Mamo gets a free pass because it's like, oh, you know, that's like the first one. So like we can give that a pass, but then it's like Cagliostro is held in such a high regard that like any other Lupin series is just like greatly looked down upon.
Well, maybe because it's like the star power attached to it, like, you know, you may have heard of a guy called Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah.
You may have heard of them.
You know, yeah, obviously like Miyazaki's name carries a lot of weight. So, you know, so everyone's gonna be like, oh well, that's the non-Miyazaki one. But then you got movies like Farewell to Nostradamus and Dead or Alive, and I can't stand either one of those movies.
I haven't seen Dead or Alive. I've seen Nostradamus, but I've only seen it once or twice, and I remember liking it.
Cause see, I just don't like Farewell to Nostradamus. That's because like I'm an asshole. But
yeah.
You're not supposed to agree. I'm not an asshole. Anyway, but no, like I never liked Farewell to Nostradamus. I never really liked Dead or Alive. I didn't like Dead or Alive because it felt like it was kind of like trying to do things from Cagliostro, but then like adding sci-fi elements to it.
Yeah, it got kind of weird towards the end.
Yeah, like I really didn't like it. And what's sad is that one was actually made by Monkey Punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually directed that one.
Wait, and Nostradamus or Dead or Alive?
Dead or Alive.
Yeah, Dead or Alive is the one I was with Monkey Punch.
Because like I couldn't believe that yeah, that Monkey Punch actually like directed one of the movies. And it's like one of the worst ones too, which is a real shame because I really like Monkey Punch. Yeah, rest in peace. What is your least favorite special?
Special, I've mentioned this before, it is Napoleon's Dictionary, or Steele Napoleon's Dictionary.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it is a bit, like, there are a lot of ones I don't like. Like, I don't like Dragon of Doom. Like, Food Conspiracy is alright.
Yeah, Dragon of Doom's definitely not one of the better ones.
Man, I fucking hate, like, everything that could have gone wrong in Steele Napoleon's Dictionary did go wrong. Terrible animation, terrible voice acting, a really terrible story. Do you know the story of...
I think so.
Alright, so you know that Lupin has to like enter a race to like get Napoleon's Dictionary, right?
I think so. It's been a long time. I'm not even sure if I've seen Napoleon's Dictionary.
Yeah,
I think about it.
Yeah, so he enters like this race to like get Napoleon's Dictionary, and I'm like, why doesn't he just steal it? Like, why can't he just steal it?
Is that what he usually do?
Yeah, like he goes to the trouble of stealing a car to compete in this race. It's so bad, and the ending, ugh, it's so fucking bad. The movie's terrible, and you joked, you were like, I'm gonna get it. And I was like, don't waste your money.
See here, well, I can't get it. I think it's out of print again.
Good.
Because like every time it's in print, it goes to like $24. I'm like, yeah, I'll pick it up. And then like I wait and I wait and I wait, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably pick up Napoleon's Dictionary. And then like I look back, it's like $700. Like, oh well.
This is a sign you shouldn't waste your time on that fucking movie.
I think my least favorite at the moment is probably Island of Assassins. I really don't like.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I just really don't like that one.
For the longest time, I really didn't like Bye Bye Lady Liberty. For the longest time, I didn't like that movie.
I was gonna say, I remember like you used to like freaking like freak out about it, like it's so bad.
But nowadays, like, now that I've seen, like, actual god shit, I'm like, this is alright. I'd take this over. There's still a lot of problems with it, but I can have fun with it.
Right.
Which is kind of what you want with a Lupin movie. I'm not looking for higher, I just want fun. I just want a fun movie. It's alright, I can have fun with it.
Let's see here. Strange Psychokinetic Strategy.
Oh, jeez, that movie. Whenever I try and get it, it goes out of print.
Dude, just go on Amazon. There's probably at least one copy for like $20.
I need to fucking watch that movie just for the novelty that it's the first Lupin movie and it's like the only live action besides 2014.
I was about to say, like, yeah, you're right. Strange Psychokinetic Strategy is the first Lupin movie.
You didn't know that?
No, I just forgot.
Well, not unless you count the pilot film.
That's true.
That's actually pretty good, though. I like that movie.
It's so weird that if you watch part one, a majority of footage in its intro is from the pilot film.
Yeah.
And like the art style is like completely different from like the rest of the series.
It's like, why is Lupin wearing a red jacket in the opening? So it's really cool though. It's a nice little novelty.
Shit, I'm not jumping for some reason. No. Yes, one of my friends asked me about it. Like, why is it that Lupin wears a green jacket in the first series?
Which just looks cool. Maybe because it was easy to animate.
Probably.
The budget was this.
Oh my god! Why can't I fucking jump? Someone also brought up, like, why is it that Cagliostro had the green jacket and not the red jacket?
Well, it's implied that, well, I think it's actually straight up confirmed that it's like Lupin is like younger years. Because like there's like a whole like 15-second bit where like it just recreates the opening to part one. And Lupin straight up says, "Yeah, I was a fucking young dumbass when I was, robbing this place," and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cute."
Now, did part 2 come out before or after Cagliostro? Or during?
I'm not a fucking calendar. Go look it up yourself.
I don't know, you're like some kind of fucking walking encyclopedia of like Lupin shit.
Did you know that the guy who directed your son is gonna go on some bullshit Lupin trivia? Let's see. Castle of Your Mom. 1979. Part 2 would have been out. But we should be sure Lupin for part 2. Part 2 came out in 77, so it would have came out before
Cagliostro.
Yeah.
So that is weird that they decided to go with the green jacket again for Cagliostro when the red jacket series.
Crunchyroll fucking loves part 2 as a 5 out of 5.
To be fair, part 2 is really good.
Part 2 is fucking hilarious if you watch the dub.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got the perfect cast that will probably never die because the TMS and Discotheque will make sure they live forever.
Except for Zenigata.
Yeah, they couldn't get a cryopod for him in time.
Poor guy. But I don't know, I actually thought the guy that they got to do Zenigata in part 4 was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he obviously, you know, sounds a little bit different from the guy that originally did part 2. But
amazing.
Yeah, that is probably my favorite version of Zenigata. Like, you know, with the English dub next to the Funimation version of Zenigata is not bad either.
For what, the one with Fujiko Mine?
No, well, no, because they got a different voice actor for Fujiko Mine.
Sorry.
They did. I'm trying to remember who they had for Zenigata in the 8 television specials and the 2 movies they had. But he was.
They're probably lost to time.
I don't know, because like he was really good. He was really good. And for the longest time, I only accepted him as like the only good Zenigata voice. Because keep in mind, like, even though like I was a big Lupin fan, I was like a real stickler about like the English dubs. And for the longest time, I only liked the Funimation dub. But that was only because that was the first English dub of Lupin I encountered. So I had a bit of a bias.
Here's a quick question: what was your first Lupin movie or Lupin media?
That would have been Voyage to Danger.
How did you get introduced to Lupin?
I remember back to buy the Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes. That they had like a Funimation released like a trailer for The Secret of Twilight Gemini.
Ooh, that's a bad movie.
I know. I actually don't mind that one. It's actually alright. But I remember seeing that trailer and I was like, that looks pretty cool. It looks fun. And many years later, when I went to a convention in like 2008 or 2009, I remember seeing that someone was selling the first haul box set from Funimation, which has
which came with
Secret of Twilight Gemini, Voyage to Danger, fuck, what else? Dead or Alive, and I think The Pursuit of Horimaru's Treasure.
Man, you got like one good movie in that collection.
And I can't remember any of the other ones that came in that collection, unless that's all of them, because it only had 5 things in it. So I bought it because whoever was selling it, he was selling it cheap. He was selling it for like $16.
Damn, for like these like kind of rare movies. That's pretty good.
Oh no, this was back when it was still in print.
Oh.
So yeah, so you know, I got it, and I liked them, but I didn't really start collecting Lupin until I was like 22.
Yeah, Fat and Ugly.
Yeah. How'd you know? Anyway, so this was back when my wife and I were first dating, and I went to the same convention but different year, obviously.
obviously.
And I went to the DVD vendor again, and he was selling Lupin stuff, and I saw that he was selling Castle of Cagliostro, Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan the special, and Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan the movie. I was like, oh shit, I remember Lupin the Third, and I was like, wait a minute, and I was like, wait a minute, are they still making this stuff? And he's like, yeah, it never ended, dude.
It never ended.
I was like, what? And I got those three, and it kind of became a little bit of a tradition that, like, whatever convention I went to, I would just pick up more Lupin. Because, like, the next time I went to a convention, I got, like, shit, what was it? I got, The Secret of Mamo, or is it Mystery of Mamo, whatever the fuck it is. So I got in the Mamo, I got, Green versus Red, and I can't remember what the third one was, but I know that there was a third one I got. So, you know, and after a while, I just started ordering more and more of this stuff from Amazon until I started actually building up a really decent Lupin collection.
And look where you are now. You're absolutely worthless.
Yep.
Yeah.
And proud.
My introduction to Lupin was actually to Metal Gear Solid, because someone made like a quote unquote anime opening of for Metal Gear Solid, but it was just Part 2's intro replaced with Metal Gear Solid characters. I was like, this is pretty cool. And I seen the description, there was a comparison video between the two openings. I was like, oh, what's this? And I looked at it and I was like, this looks pretty cool. And that same week, you told me about this really wacky anime called Lupin the Third. And you mentioned how David Hayter did the voice of Lupin in the manga and the Penguin dub for Castle Cagliostro, and I was like, holy shit, David Hayter, Snake, my dad. And I watched, and this is back when they had Mystery of Mamo and Cagliostro on YouTube, so I had easy access to them. I watched them both, didn't have when I was and that's what it's, you know, to watch me more.
You're breaking up.
Naturally, it took me 2 more years to get out of prison. So, yeah,
wait, what did you just say?
I escaped prison, pirating Super Nintendo. But where did I cut off?
About you watching on YouTube?
Yeah, so I watched that on YouTube, and I was like, holy shit, this is great. So I think I watched Bye Bye Live Liberty after that, or maybe I watched the woman called Fujiko Mine, and I was like, this is fucking awesome, and the rest is in my pants. That's why I keep my DVDs. Easy access.
Oh, now I remember what the third one was. When the second time I bought 3 Lupin stuff, it was Jigen's Gravestone.
Nice, a good one.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
That one and Goemon's Blood Spray are both really good.
Yeah. I remember watching like an old video. It was like top 10 Lupin movies to get into if you're a beginner, and someone was like, if you like watch Jigen's Gravestone, but it's like a sequel to the one called Fujiko Mine, and I was like, alright, well, sure, I'll watch that first, and that's how I got into that. And I haven't seen Jigen's Gravestone since.
I mean, to be fair, like the one called Fujiko Mine, like a lot of people ask questions about it because one, it's hard to find now. I was lucky. I was fucking lucky that I found it on Blu-ray for only $56 because there are days where it can like be anywhere between $150 to like $500.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, well, that's because Funimation had it, and Funimation was gonna air it on Toonami, but it literally was like there was so much like nudity and cursing and violence that they would have to like they would have to like censor like the entirety of an episode just to get it on the air.
It was one of those, actually a pretty decent show.
Yeah, no, it is a good show. It's
I haven't seen it since I originally watched it, so I may find some slip-ups.
My wife and I both watched it, and you know, my wife she likes Lupin a little bit. She definitely likes Castle Cagliostro. Like whenever we talk about movies and we talk about anime movies, like, oh, what's your favorite Lupin? And she's like, oh, it has to be Cagliostro.
Nice.
You know.
Wife, that's good taste.
Right, and she didn't mind Mamo either. She was like, yeah, Mystery of Mamo was good, it just wasn't as good as Cagliostro.
Yeah.
She also...
good. I had a lot of fun with that movie.
Right, she also liked the 2014 live-action movie.
Still see that movie.
Yeah, I recommend it to you because like it's actually like the only good live-action Lupin thing.
Are you telling me Strange Psych Connect Strategy isn't a masterpiece?
Strange Psycho Connect Strategy only fails because it tries to bring a manga to life, but it still tries to be a manga.
Yeah, but it's also in 60s It's also in 60s era Japan, where the film is fucking shit, or editing was shit. What the fuck am I saying?
I mean, if there was, actually, you know, editing and like, you know, film wise, it's good. It's just that it's
a lot of weird freeze frames that really threw me off.
It's just that its humor is like really like bizarre because it tries to translate jokes from the manga that wouldn't work in live action. You know, like such as like, you know, they tried to do this thing where the characters have like goofy faces or whatever when they get hit on the head or something, and it would work in like an anime or a cartoon or a comic book or a manga, but it doesn't work in real life because, you know, humans can't over exaggerate their facial expressions to that like much of a degree as like an animated character. It's also kind of like reminiscent to like the Pink Panther movies in a way.
I've heard that comparison before.
Yeah, like it's really similar.
Not necessarily a bad thing, because those were pretty cool.
No, yeah, but still, it's just a
yeah.
But I don't know. If I had to choose like the next Blu-ray release, I really hope that we get Part 5 on Blu-ray soon.
Yeah, but I don't think Part 5 has any like home media release besides like streaming services.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. I think it's only available on Amazon and that's it. Shit.
Part 5 is I haven't finished. I've only seen like 3 episodes of Part 5, but I had a lot of fun with it.
I saw Part 5 on Crunchyroll when it first came out.
Yeah, it like premiered on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, and I really liked it. Not as much as Part 4 though. Because I really liked Part 4, and Part 5 was like good, but at the same time it's like eh.
I've been rewatching like Part 4. I stopped for a while because, you know, I'm in school, but I had a lot of fun. I was like genuinely surprised at how much fun I was having with it. Like, sure, there were a couple like really stinky poo-poo episodes.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun. Yeah, like a whole episode where, like, what's her name? Rachel. Like, just tricks him into being in a movie. I'm like, okay, this is fine, I guess.
And then the movie's basically Castle Cagliostro.
Yeah.
Or in the TV special Green vs. Red, when one of the Lupin imposters is literally watching Castle Cagliostro and eating McDonald's because for some reason McDonald's sponsored that episode, that special.
I always get confused with like the Italian game and the Italian adventure. The Italian game is the special, and the Italian adventure is the series.
Isn't the Italian game like basically just a summarization of Part 4?
I was told it was a prequel.
Oh, I need to check that out.
I don't fucking know.
I always thought it was weird because like Discotech usually doesn't do this, but like I mentioned this in my last stream that one of the weird things about Part 4 was the fact that it had 2 Blu-ray releases.
Part 4?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had it in the dub and the sub.
Yeah, and I always thought that was so weird.
Bundle those together. Usually they bundle those together.
Yeah, I think it's because there's like something going on with like the music of Part 4.
Yeah, I know, because
and you're breaking up. Right, speak.
Luigi.
There you go. But no, like
you know, the openings are like totally different, and the music is it's somewhat different.
Yeah, and I don't really get what that's about because like they use
It's the same,
comical
though.
chase so many times
Ugh,
in
hate
the
that fucking track.
English one, but like comical chase I think is only used like a handful of times in the Japanese dub,
Yeah. Like
and
they
it's
they have like different openings, different endings, different like eye catchers and everything.
yeah I always thought that was so bizarre.
Yeah. Which is a shame though, because Part 4 has like the fucking greatest anime opening of all time. I say that I wipe the snot from my nose.
I don't know what that is because like someone was like, oh, there's a copyright issue. It's like, well, clearly there's not because they're able to release both. Because you can buy from Discotek both the Blu-ray for the Japanese and the English dubs. But you can only buy them separately. And like, and it's like the only time that like it's advertised on the cover, like this is the English dub, this is the Japanese dub.
Oh.
Hold on, you're breaking up again. Alright, well, you're back now.
Sustenance. But yeah, like,
what'd you just say?
Part 4, I said sustenance. I need food. But
Yeah.
I have like crackers on my desk. Hold on. Keep talking while I eat crackers.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think that's really weird. I hope Part 5 is the same, because I have not seen the English dub for Part 5.
The English dub, it's the same cast as Part 4.
No, I figured that.
Yeah, and it's actually really good. The person who voiced like Emmy or whatever, I'm pretty sure is Christina V, and I fucking love her and everything.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of bizarre.
It has a really weird setup. It's supposed to be a lot more story driven.
Yeah, Part 5 definitely has like a better, it has a better story arc than Part 4. It's just that its overall execution is bad.
I never liked it when like the TV series had like a storyline, because Lupin for me is just like this is a bunch of wacky characters doing wacky things.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I liked Part 4, because it was really reminiscent of Part 2.
Yeah, well, the thing is, well, Part 4 has an overarching plot. Part 5 seems a lot more like forced in.
Yeah, that's true. That's
also,
definitely true.
And I also never really liked how Part 4 and 5 take place in like enclosed locations. Like for Part 4, Lupin's just like hanging out in Italy. In Part 5, he's in France, and I'm like, come on, like take me to the destinations, take me to America, take me to Brazil, take me to, I don't know, Uganda. I don't know, take us everywhere but these countries.
Yeah.
They did go to Japan once in Part 4, though.
Which I thought was, I don't know. It's so bizarre when you think about it. When you think about how like Part 4 and Part 5 like are in like closed locations.
Yeah, like there's never really a reason for it. Maybe they just didn't have enough animation. I don't fucking know. They do use it to the best of their ability. Like, no one episode feels the same.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's still people that are like, why don't we have like a Part 6 yet? You know, and
Because we're busy.
I was about to say, it's like, we got like 2 TV specials and like what? Like, aren't we getting like a new movie? Yeah, we got Live on the 51st coming out.
And we took years to make.
Yeah, which I'm still waiting for that American release.
Wait, just wait for it. G Kids will be like, take this, losers. I was still so happy when they got like are we calling the Discotek voice cast now, since they pretty much do Discotek stuff nowadays?
Yeah, I guess they're the
Like
Discotek, the Discotek dub team.
Yeah, but they brought them all back. They brought them all. They even brought back the dead Zenigata. They brought him back too.
That's like the one thing on Discotek that I was like super impressed by, was that they actually like brought back as many of the
dead.
What?
Nothing.
Because you know they no say it.
So I said like, yeah, they brought him back from the dead, and you were like, yeah, I was really impressed, and I thought you were saying, yeah, I was impressed they brought him back from the dead.
But no, I was really impressed that they actually got the cast, because it would have been cheaper to just like get like random actors to like do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when they announced that they were releasing The Legend of Golden Babylon, people were like, "Oh, they're probably just going to use the cast from like Jigen's Gravestone or something," which wouldn't have been bad.
Yeah, but they probably were like, no, Tony Oliver fits this kind of movie. We're gonna get him.
You know what's weird though is that if you look up the cast for the Bloodspray of Goemon Ishikawa, there's like no info on who played Jigen.
Who played Jigen?
I don't even know. I don't even know if it's the same guy that did Jigen in Gravestone, but like someone brought that up. They're like, yeah, did you know that there's no credit for Jigen in the English dub of like the Bloodspray of Goemon Ishikawa? And like, is that like a mistake? Like, no. Like, there's just no credit on IMDb, on the DVD, on the Blu-ray, on anything.
That's hilarious. Oh. So I'm glad G-Kids was able to get the discotheque dudes. Like they like G-Kids like really gets like anime, and like if voice actors are like, yeah, we're gonna like respect the source material and we're gonna get these lads.
Right.
G-Kids is a fucking great company. I love them.
Let's see here, because they G-Kids did Panama Upside Down, whatever it was called.
Dude, if you own like an anime movie in the States, 90% it came from G-Kids.
Because like, I know
they have they do distribution for all the Ghibli movies, like all of the major like Weathering with You, Ride Your Wave, all that shit. They're re-releasing older movies too.
Right, because I got I got some of the Ghibli movies. I got Panama Inverted.
That's the I saw the movie. I haven't seen it yet. I have like that's like on my watch list, like only because of the poster. The poster looks fucking cool. You said it was all right.
Yeah, I liked it. It could have been better, but you know, it is what it is.
They also like, I think they have like the distribution rights for Mirai, which is like my fucking favorite movie of the year. This looks pretty good.
You know, Mill Creek Entertainment also has a couple good animes under their belt.
Really? Is it just all Ultraman?
No, Ultraman's not an anime, you dingus.
Boy, what's surprising if there was?
Because Ultraman's live action.
There's some animated Ultraman shit.
What?
There's gotta be some animated Ultraman.
Oh, there
shit.
is. There is. There's like 2 or 3 anime series in Ultraman. It's just that a majority of it is live action. What?
Someone just went, wah baby, like Discord server.
Well, if people in your Discord server watching the stream?
No. No, people just talking. The server like, wah baby.
Anyway, oh, ooh, God, this guy was trying to stop me from stealing his car in GTA, and like, I'm pretty sure I twisted his wrist as he grabbed the.
Tyler's online.
Oh no.
Tyler, no, he's. If you want to get him in here.
We'll do it after the stream. But yeah, because I'm gonna wrap up the stream anyway.
All right.
But no. No, I was just gonna say that like, Mill Creek Entertainment released the anime movie Metropolis.
The Tetsu Taizumika, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I heard it's a fucking good movie.
It is good. I just rewatched it like the other day, and I was like, wow, this is actually like a lot better than I even remember.
You know, when he was making that movie, like I think he said like, yeah, I've never seen this movie. I saw like that production still of like that woman with like the weird helmet on her head.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was pretty good. I'll make a whole movie about this.
I was amazed that he got away with calling it Metropolis, but I guess Metropolis is in public domain now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in public domain.
But yeah, but no, like I think I told somebody that like what's amazing about this movie is that nobody tried to like remake Metropolis with this movie. Like it borrows some elements from the original movie, but like it is its own thing. And that's what I really like about it. I also just like the art style, how it's like that old 1950s like wacky cartoony style. but then people get their fucking heads blown off. And I'm like, huh.
I love that kind of juxtaposition.
It's like, like, you know, like everybody looks like Astro Boy.
I wonder why.
What do you mean?
I wonder why. It's like, it's not like the person who fucking made the movie made the world knows Astro Boy.
Wait, he did?
Yes!
Oh, I didn't know that.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, I like to stay up late and drink all of the paint.
You know, this up-and-coming guy, Makoto Shinkai, I think, people are, like, really giving him a lot of good shit.
Nice.
The guy who made, like, Your Name and the Weather Interview.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about. But anyway, I think I'm going to end this stream.